You guys asked me some really hot questions and hopefully I have some really compelling answers, so let's get on with it. Roll intro, roll video. Firstly, and I'm probably going to make this the title of the video, from Toby Farms, Imagine Scents whereabouts and what is his most worn frags for 2022. Now, at the risk of doxing him, out of respect, I won't reveal Imagine Scents' current physical location nowadays, but don't worry, I will definitely speak on what Timmy has been up to. And before that, I must mention, and you guys are probably with me, I really miss him in the fragrance community. Of course, Timmy brought this enthusiastic and energetic approach to presentation here, and I know that roped a lot of you guys into the lifestyle even more, so to see him no longer be posting on Imagine Scent is definitely tragic to say the least. But on the flip side, it's not all completely grim. The kid is still on YouTube, believe it or not, and he still has that enthusiastic, energetic approach, just for another type of product, and that is IEMs. IEMs, or in-ear monitors, on the YouTube channel Gizaudio. So we're talking really high quality audio earbuds typically used by audio engineers, musicians, and audiophiles, and there's just a cool budding community in that Timmy has been cultivating with that stuff. So that is his latest muse, and if you still love Timmy or are remotely interested in audio, I'll put a card up on this video to some of his latest work, and I will link his channel in the description below. And as far as his most worn frags, I have no idea. To be honest, when we catch up, we seldom talk about frags. Thankfully, our friendship and our travels have transcended this awesome, albeit surface level hobby. But yeah, maybe I should ask him, or maybe you should ask him over at Gizaudio. Please subscribe to Timmy. And thank you for the question, Toby. But next question, I think a good segue from Andre Fins. What are your top 3 YouTuber released fragrances? So for the sake of time, and because I really only have a top 1, it is this stuff right here that I will say. It's Toukka from House of Matriarch in collaboration with the aforementioned Imagine Scent. Toukka is based on the real-life Turtle Island, south of Bangkok, Thailand, a tourist destination known for its picturesque dive sites and turtle breeding grounds. So you can imagine the scent that Timmy is trying to paint a picture of in its natural beauty. Got lots of fruit, tropical florals, and sweets here, and all together it's just put together so beautifully by Christy Michelle, and I think she killed it. And whenever I spray this on and I reminisce about the times that Timmy was still in the fragcomm, it just makes me want to travel the world with him yet again, because surprisingly we kind of done that a lot, which is so much fun, and that was such a privilege. So yeah, good to bust this one out once in a while. Thank you for asking, Andre. On to the next question now. This one's from Tyler J. Nazario. Have you tried Comme des Garçons Wonderwood, and if so, what are your thoughts on it? And if you are looking for a super synthetic yet warm and spicy take on softer woods like cedar and or a creamier sandalwood, then this stuff is really nice. I know it gets thrown around a lot, but it's definitely a zen take on woods to a T. So if you like that calming, more soothing nature, if you will, on woods, then yeah, you'd probably like this. But if you want something more pronounced, or hell, even a darker wood even, then I would probably steer clear. That, or if you want something that is more different than the traditional Comme des Garçons overt synthetic touch, then yeah, definitely steer clear. But yeah, whether you are into this set or not, it's definitely worth picking up to try in person if you're already there. So give it a shot, Tyler. Thank you for asking. Moving on, here we go from 3LO Isa. What are your favorite more manly / dark fragrances? And Isa, I presume you were asking about something that is both manly and dark, because let's be real, Black Orchid Eau de Parfum is also dark, but because it evokes more sultry, seductive vibes, it's more thought of as a feminine or androgynous dark scent even. And on the flip side, Aqua de Jo is typically considered manly with its citrus zing and salty freshness, but no one would dare call it dark because it's just not. But if I could pick one lately for the sake of time that is both manly and dark, that checks off those boxes for me, I would say it's this guy right here from L'Artisan. This is Timbuktu. It has a bitter fruitiness and a bit of spiciness to open, but ultimately you are getting incense and other resins like myrrh on top of vetiver, and the way it wears on skin, in my opinion, is akin to more like a hot desert night, is how I like to call it. And whenever I want to feel tall, dark, and handsome for any time of the year, I'll reach for this stuff right here. So truly both sophisticated and exotic, and still wearable at the same time if you ask me. Timbuktu by L'Artisan is definitely my pick for both manly and dark. Thank you for asking, Isa. On to the next question, and this one is from Olfactive Overdose. What is the fragrance you are wearing most this season? Alright, thankfully this one's easy and it doesn't have to be unpacked too much. It's from the brand Histoires de Parfums, and this is Ambre 114. Warm, spicy sandalwood, vanilla, benzoin, and most importantly, importantly Ambre, and the way this dries down is just so cozy, so fun, and my girlfriend gave me her bottle actually and prefers it off of me more, so I can't not wear this stuff, and I will definitely wear it more happily in fact. So yeah, I am really loving this stuff lately in Histoires de Parfum Ambre 114. Thank you for asking, OO. I'm sure I will opine on this even more in future winter fragrance videos to come. Moving on to the next question. This is from G. Nunez. Thoughts on designers releasing their own higher end lines competing with niche fragrances? And he has a related question. What are your favorite higher end designer scents? Okay, so altogether these are kind of toughies for me, but I like that and I will get to my favorites after. But yeah, the very thought of higher end designers and niche fragrances kind of coexisting is just super fascinating to me. Sure, luxury lines existed before the Tom Ford private blends dropping in 2007, but when they did drop in 2007, that's when everything changed. The Tobacco Vanille, the Tuscan Leathers, the Noir de Noirs, the Oud Woods. Whether you liked them or not, that was the future of luxury perfumery as we knew it. We had something artistic, higher quality, and still something pleasant to aspire to, but with the familiarity of a designer name, which, trust me, that really matters for the general consumer, because a lot of the time they'd rather subscribe to something that is familiar to them rather than having to dive into something more fringe like a niche brand in this case that they have next to no familiarity with in the mainstream world. So I think for designers being at the cutting edge of both art and marketing has since forced truer niche brands to also come out with stuff that still stays true to their unique ethos but is also engineered to sell, sell, sell. And since this channel is about promoting the lifestyle of scent, whether it is at a more approachable level or at a more luxury level, I do think that giving people options to aspire to at the luxury level only makes this industry and community even bigger. So for that I am thankful, and I love the idea of higher end luxury lines from designers competing with niche brands at those elevated price points. And G. Nunez asked for your other question, what are your favorite higher end designer scents? That is an easy one for me. It's without a doubt Les Exclusives de Chanel. So these you can only get at luxury department store Chanel desks or Chanel standalone boutiques or Chanel online. They aren't cheap, but if you are also fascinated by the storied history of Chanel, then maybe these are for you too. And the one thing I find cool about the three that I own, despite being made by different noses over the years at Chanel, is that regardless of whoever made it, each of these scents followed the core ethos of the Chanel brand. So we are talking surgical levels of master blending that feel top-notch with both synthetic and natural ingredients alike, all to achieve a throwback likeness, but something that feels timeless at the same time. And therefore, since these things are still around today, you really can't tell when these were actually released. So I think that's really cool. And if you're the type on the regular to wanna feel your best or dress your best, then I only think that these type of fragrances would add to your fragrance wardrobe in spades. So yeah, definitely love each of these Les Exclusives here. This one on the screen right now is Bois des Iles, and I'd get this or try it for a brighter throwback take on sandalwood. Then this one right here is 31 Rue Cambon for Iris lovers if you also like a more modern, cheaper style. And here is 1957 for that brighter throwback take on a modern day white musk. If I had to pick one that was the most wearable, it's definitely this most recent one out of the three. Hopefully that answers that. Thanks again, G. On to the next question, and this is from one of my best friends here in the local community, Syed. The fragrance community, especially in Toronto, seems a lot more tight-knit and close compared to communities dedicated to other luxury items like watches or hype sneakers. What makes fragrance have such a strong ability to bring people so much closer together than an average hobbyist community? And although I'm typically more on the subdued side about scents, I'm still naturally eager to want to share scents or this hobby with people in person. It's the sheer notion of the sense of smell that shifts me into that mindset. Because you might not be actively listening to someone or looking at them, but their scent, if it is around you, is perhaps just harder to ignore. So despite the sense of smell's neglect in comparison to the other human senses, scents are definitely intended to be shared. And bonding over that is just something totally different and fun that enthusiasts really take to heart to want to share with more potential enthusiasts. Not to mention that depending on where you come from, for one reason or another, personal scents may be shunned by your regional norms. So of course you want to have a safe place to practice the hobby with like-minded people. So because we feel like we must protect scents and share the lifestyle whenever it is warranted, this kind of energy that we exhibit just feels powerful. We're just built differently here. That's not to disrespect the other communities I'm in when it comes to sneakers or watches, but I think there's just an extra level of obsession when it comes to obsessing over something that is largely invisible in scent. So give yourself a pat on the back if you are part of your active local fragrance communities. Thanks again for the question, Sayed. And last but not least, from Rich Mitch, what do you think of fragcomm now compared to when you first started out? And Mitch, I presume you're asking this question from the standpoint of me being a creator, so I'm going to answer in such a way. And from a creator standpoint, you kind of just have to live with the reason why you started out in this journey to begin with. Like, why did you engage in the community by making videos in the first place? For me, I guess I got into this for more Puritan reasons. I feel like I'm still doing that now because right now there is more grifters than ever before. It's just chock full of them in the fragrance community. Again, that's not to say that these people didn't exist prior in the community, but since there's just more to reap from now, as far as clout, as far as money, the depths of which certain creators are willing to go into just feel more unbearable to me, and again, more obvious. And I know anyone can get into any community for any reason they desire, but I personally can't help but feel sort of way when you have knowledge, when you have power, but you care little to inform, educate, or entertain people in less honest ways. Yeah, I'm just not down with that. And since I was already enjoying my fragrances, my fragrance journey before I even started making YouTube videos, I don't need the community as I know it now in order to enjoy my scents in peace. So if I'm still making videos now, yes, I enjoy reaping more ad revenue now than I used to before. Who wouldn't? But at the very end of the day, the ethos of my content has not changed from the time I started making YouTube videos for free to begin with. I started making content the way I do because there was questions I still had about fragrance that I felt like weren't getting answered enough. So I wanted to explore this shit and tell the world what I was finding. Like why we may gravitate towards other scents over others. Or how do we even assess the sheer quality of a scent? And then marketing related questions as far as branding or even price or even value. Like whether it's at retail or gray market rates. Can someone honestly tell me if something is worth getting? And what about this gray market? Can someone eloquently unpack that, please? So yeah, all this shit means something to me because I believe that not all of us are made of money. That, and I truly believe that you don't want your time wasted, so I kind of want to take it seriously. So because I genuinely believe that the content that you put out cannot be completely separated from the character of who you actually are, that is also why I'm more appalled at the growing number of dishonest takes that I'm seeing here lately, and or less informing videos that still leaves you the watcher with some unanswered questions. Because like if you omit talking about a fragrance's price or value, how can I not presume that you aren't well researched enough? Or are you omitting these details because you are somehow in cahoots with the brand or company? Or is your overwhelming bias too compromising and you're now no longer helpful? So all in all, I don't know what to say. I don't believe that the community has really changed other than in sheer size. And that's not to say that there aren't more honest, engaging creators now, because there definitely are. I just wish there was more of them and it was less fake here overall. That's all. So please, let's use this and be more intuitive as well as far as who you give your money and time to. And let the most recent Liver King sideshow in the fitness community tell us something about who you might be watching here too. Again, I don't really have an axe to grind with anyone personally. No one's really attacked me for anything. It's just I don't identify with certain practices that I find to be suspect that I see here on a daily basis. Thank you for the question, Mitch, and thank you everyone for submitting these questions. I'll do another Q&A next month. And if you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed this. I know there was a lot to unpack here. Please like the video as well and subscribe if you've yet to, and also hit that notification bell if you want to be notified for more content like this in the near future. But until the next one, thanks again for watching. Take care for now. Peace out. Bye. My name is Manny. Wear your fragrances.